Around 200 workers will be affected by the fire at a Richards Bay wood chip factory.
Now, the fire at this NCT wood chip mill. Now, it started on Saturday, and we were hearing it's still not completely extinguished, but we now know it is actually being contained.
Well, there was smoke that was visible a bit earlier on, and the public, however, has still been urged to stay away as a change in wind direction could reignite the blaze. As you know, with fires of this nature, you never quite know what lies underneath, and any slight wind just could reignite it. Now, it is expected that billions of rands would have to be spent and lost while the factory is non-operational over the next few months. eNCA's Lethiwe Mdluli is standing by with the latest. Lethiwe, a very good morning to you. What exactly is the status of that fire from where you are standing? Is there any smoke coming out of it, or has it completely died down?
Well, good morning, Tammy. I'm going to step out of shot and show you exactly the situation in Richards Bay this morning. As you can see from your visuals, unfortunately, the fire is still raging. And this is coming from Saturday when the fire started. And I have been speaking to people on the ground this morning, just trying to find out the efforts by emergency personnel, because they are on the ground trying to contain the fire. But currently, there is an aerial operation that is taking place that's meant to suffocate the burning stockpiles, as you can see, and they are basically hoping that they will be able to contain the fire that way, so that it doesn't spread to other industries. Of course, there are other industries that are surrounding the NCT company, and the emergency personnel are basically trying to contain the fire right now. We've seen a few aircrafts in the air trying to spread what is called a chemical that is supposed to contain this fire. But right now, I want to bring in the Deputy Mayor of Mhlathuze, Mr. Christo Botha, to speak to him more about the emergency personnel on the ground. Christo, thank you so much for joining us at eNCA. I just want to find out from you, the emergency personnel, what is currently taking place?
Well, basically at the moment, because of the good weather, we are using fixed-wing aircraft to subdue the fire and spraying a specific chemical that basically contains the oxygen. That's what's happening at the moment. Over the weekend, when the fire started on Saturday afternoon at about 1 o'clock, the fire was contained pretty quickly, but at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the wind changed. And the wind speed picked up, I think, to 27 knots, and then we had a huge problem, because some of these burning particles were distributed into the greenbelt areas, and we even had one of our residential areas under threat because of that fire that's spreading so severely. And then during Saturday night, early Sunday morning, the other stockpile that's burning now at the back, that caught fire, and that created a major problem. But luckily, we had the entire community that came to the rescue. We had our local business people, Bell Equipment, that really came on board, and all the local neighbouring municipalities, bringing on board all their firefighter equipment, their personnel, etc. And even until this morning, I think at about 3 o'clock, the people were working closely to get these fires under containment, as well as people from Bell still working with us and the municipality and officials. We were on the ground since Saturday afternoon till the early hours of this morning, and we really want to thank everybody, because otherwise this would have been a major catastrophe.
Yeah. I can see right now that John Ross Road is closed, and the public has been warned to not come near this company. Are there fears that the fire might spread to other places, the CBD maybe?
Look, I think at this point in time we've got it pretty much under containment. That fear was very strong on Saturday evening, early Sunday morning with the winds, that we may see the fire spreading to the CBD area. But I think at this point in time it was properly contained. We don't have that fear at the moment. There's no wind, and I think with the fixed-wing aircraft and the special chemicals that we're using at the moment, that fire will be contained and it will not spread. Luckily, we don't have that wind and gust of winds that we had over the weekend.
Talk to us about the impact this fire is going to have on jobs. We had a little bit of a discussion before going on air about the 200 jobs that might be impacted by this.
Look, at this point in time, I can't give you specifics in terms of numbers of losses in terms of rand and cent. But I think it's pretty safe to say that there's millions of rands worth of equipment lost. The wood stockpiling that's lost. And to properly contain the fire in the sense of having it completely destroyed and killed, that might take a week or 2 or 3 weeks. And all these staff members have been evacuated from the premises early on Sunday morning. Some of them went back yesterday until this morning to try and contain the fire and spray chemicals. But for now, you can see there's no operations going on at the moment. You can also see that some of those heavy equipment, the conveyor belts, everything has been destroyed.
Yeah. Sorry, do you know what started the fire? I know that there's investigations that are currently ongoing.
Look, at this point in time, I don't want to speculate. There's a lot of rumors going around, but we will rather wait until we have the full investigation done so that we know what was the cause. At this point in time, I don't want to speculate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Okay, Gareth, so there you have it from the Deputy Mayor of Mdluli, just basically taking us through what is currently taking place in terms of trying to extinguish this fire. As you can see, the flames are still burning, but they are saying that they are hoping that the fire will be contained today, and they are saying that there's no wind, which means that there are better chances of having this fire contained and not spreading to other industries. The aircraft that you're seeing on your screens right now, of course, is spreading a chemical that they are hoping will work in trying to contain the fire. And we will be speaking to the business chamber as well here in the Zululand district just to find out the impact that this is going to cost. Of course, the deputy mayor just explained to us that right now they are estimating that millions have been lost in terms of losing equipment, and also just that from the fact that this company is currently not working, it's closed. They have evacuated everyone on the ground, even the employees that were stuck there on Saturday. And right now, basically, they're saying that they're estimating that millions are going to be lost. And also, unfortunately, there might be jobs that will be lost as well. But we will be speaking to the business chamber and finding out more on that a bit later on.
All right, let's see if your camera person can stay on that shot for a second, as he's doing a great job, he or she doing a great job following that aircraft around for us. So there it is, the very latest out of Richards Bay. Clearly, that fire is not being snuffed out at the moment. The aircraft dropping some kind of fire retardant. It's a chemical to try and take out the oxygen. So as it lands, it almost creates a bit of a layer to stop oxygen and air moving through that to stop the flames. Unfortunately, right now, it doesn't look like it's very, very effective. Thankfully, that wind is died down as well, T. But unfortunately, if ever there was going to be rain up towards Richards Bay and KZN, today would have been the day for it. But I'm afraid that's the only water source that they've got at the moment. There's a picture worth 1,000 words, a fire that size, and one staff member. I don't think they're trying to spray the fire. They're actually spraying it at that building to try and stop the fire jumping across to that. A fight that I hope in the end will make a difference. So what a view, what a sight out of Richards Bay this morning.
And we heard a little bit earlier on as well the fact that there was a point when the fire looked like it was being contained, but the slightest bit of wind just reignited the flames, which then also spread to the other mountain of wood chips, actually spreading and extending the affected area. And as you can imagine, Gareth, the number of individuals who will now lose their jobs because of this, it's not only affecting business, it's also affecting families and livelihoods. And the impact of the pollution, I'm just thinking of that as well, with the immense amount of smoke that has gone out into the atmosphere. But thankfully, we have heard as well that the chance of this fire spreading out to the CBD has lessened. It has been at least contained to such a degree that the CBD is not at stake. But this is a battle that is still being fought. And from the look of things, from where we're standing, this battle is still a long, long way to have been won.
We'll come back to that again a little bit later. Our team are going to stay on the ground for us out in Richards Bay.